Hey, hi, Jacqueline here from Just Women Talking Shit. Today is going to be a solo episode. It's actually nighttime. It's actually almost 12:30 a.m. I feel like it's time for another episode. My last episode was with a guest, and then, I've got some other interviews coming up. But my last solo episode was talking about getting divorced, right? And why I left, why I feel like it's the best choice for me, for my daughter, for just my little family unit, for my sanity, all the things. Now, tonight was the first night that I went out on my own as a, I guess, quote unquote, single lady, and I went to an open mic by myself that was hosted by a really great friend. And I was really nervous. I was really nervous to go, but I did it anyway. And I performed, and that was fun. Even though it was pretty much almost, it was like an empty room by the time I got up there. I went last. So it was like really good practice. I got to hear myself, through the microphone, all the speakers, stuff like that. And I had a good time. By the way, with it being late, with me just living the way I want to live and, without judgment and just kind of fly by the seat of my pants sometimes. We're going to make this because I'm parked and I'm home. I had a great night. But since I'm parked and since I'm not driving and since we're done with the day and I'm hungry, we're going to just go ahead and do a little talk, a little bit bigger than little. And I was going to eat Taco Bell while we talk. If you don't know, you're about to find out that Taco Bell is my guilty pleasure. That was a creeper. And so on the way back from open mic, I figured, why not? YOLO. That's what my kids say, YOLO. So I'm going to YOLO some Mountain Dew I'll open my mouth and I'm going to eat. And we're going to talk about, really, we probably might talk about I think I just wanted to update you guys. Whoa. The cinnamon twists were a bad idea to eat on camera. I bet that sounds like shit. But for real, life has been changing like a whole lot. But ultimately, I cannot express how much freer my nervous system feels. Like, I don't know if it's a combination of the medicines that I'm taking to help with the bipolar, to help with the anxiety, to help with the depression, right? Because that's my ongoing diagnosis. And now they're saying maybe borderline personality disorder. Fucking great. Like if it exists, I guess I got it. I don't know. So I know there's like a combination of the medicine, the therapy, and just personal evolution in general. But I may smoke one cartridge a week. I quit smoking flower completely, unless like I'm hanging out with friends and like somebody's like, "Hey, you want a toke? We got a blunt. What up? Don't tempt me with a good time. I'm there. I'm doing it." But like I was smoking way too much. I know that if you've been following me for a minute, then you know that was like kind of my thing for a little while was to smoke and to hang out on the back porch. But I realized how dependent I was on it. I forgot I'm gonna eat. But I realized how dependent I was on it, and then my ex or soon to be ex, he started saying stuff that like really started hurt my feelings and made me feel like disgusting about smoking. So that was an indicator. Like if he thinks I stink and doesn't want to be around me, like maybe I should lay off the weed. Because I was like smoking like straight up blunts, like rolling up blunts. Uh Also, what kind of sauce do you like? What's your favorite sauce? Is it mild sauce? Let me know in the comments or write me or something. I don't know. I don't know how this works. On Spotify, I think you can leave comments now. Hot or my personal favorite. Is you a fire gal? Is you a fire gal? I'm a fire gal. And every once in a while, I like Diablo. Okay. I take the fire and I like take the Diablo and I like kind of like merge them. But which one are you? Are you real fancy and you like pay the extra for the green one? Nobody does that. You do that? I don't know. But it's been an interesting transition. I'm staying with my mom. Let me update y'all on all this. I'm staying with my mom. I stay on one couch with my son, and then my daughter sleeps on the other one, and we're living out of my mother's living room. Her husband, I should say hers and her husband's house. Her husband, who has brain cancer, lung cancer, and skin cancer, who has been going through all kinds of treatments. He's on a break right now. They've seen some progress. Um, he's here and she takes care of him the best she can. And I've been really trying to chip into and like, you know, help cook dinners, stuff like that. Cause on top of having cancer, he has onsets, like sudden onset diabetes that he cannot figure out. It is like scary. I hear his thing beeping all the time, but like it's just weird. So we're trying to like navigate all this. He's like trying to navigate all of it. And the kicker with that is that he lost his son to diabetes who had onset, like just sudden diabetes. And when something like that happens and you don't know how to, you haven't lived with it long, like you don't know how to control it. So he's dealing with that and it really affects everybody else too. Like if he's not feeling well and or like mental health and then my mother who has I mean a laundry list of stuff wrong with her. I say wrong with her, but I mean like actual ailments, like diseases, um injuries, stuff like that. She does the best. I feel like she does the best that she can. But the poor thing is just she's running herself down. And so I'm really and then, like, I feel like I'm barely here because my situation with the kids is that both of them go to school about 30 miles from where we're staying. So I have to wake up like earlier than usual, take them to school. And then it's like such a small amount of time. So by the time they're in school, it's like 8 o'clock. By the time I'd get back here, it'd be 9 o'clock. Then I would do work for a few hours and then I have to hop in the car by 2 o'clock, 2:30. So, what I've been doing is just I've just been, like, working at a coffee shops, sitting in my car, hotspotting, internet, just, like, trying to do the best I freaking can, you know what I'm saying? Um, instead of having to because there is let's just go ahead and say that it's, 45 minutes to an hour, there, depending on traffic, and depending on if we have to stop for something, just depending on all kinds of various factors. Um So I calculate that I have to spend about 4 hours in the car a day. I go there, drop them off, come back, do work, go there, pick them up, come back, and then do it all over again the next day. So I've been trying to stay close to them. And also, I think it's probably like separation anxiety and just the whole, well, what if something does happen? I need to be nearby. I have to have a part my food. Let's do the party start. So there's just all that, and like making sure that I'm doing a good job with my clients. That's really weighing on my mind right now. There's just like so many responsibilities here, and then so many responsibilities with the kids, so many responsibilities with my job, with my company, my everything I'm doing, and I'm growing and the podcast. So I'm behind on the podcast. I fucking hate that. I hate that the podcast is like on the back burner because the truth is that, and I'm going to put it out to the fucking world because I think I'm entertaining. I think I'd be so good on camera. I think you would have like the best reality TV show and podcast. And like, I don't know. I picture it. Just women talking shit, being this big brand. And then life happens and I'm like, it gets set on the back burner. But I feel like if I had someone to help fund it or I had sponsorships and I could actually put my time into the podcast like a job, which I've been treating it like a job, but there are just moments where I can't keep up with it because I self-fund it. I do everything myself. I edit it, I create the clips, I post, I I book the guests. I do all the things. There's none of it that I outsource. So I feel like why not? Somebody's come on board and see the vision with me, so we can make this thing happen, and I can make somebody a lot of money because I really feel like there would be a whole culture behind it with the right advertisement, with the right crew behind it, right? So when you watch these clips back, because if you're listening, no big deal. But if you're watching the clips or watching it on YouTube or wherever, you're going to see that I went from night to day from one outfit to the next. And that's because when I started recording this, the phone was almost dead. So I'm in the middle of eating my Taco Bell, which was delicious, by the way. After that, I slept like a rock. But you might be curious. The phone died, and I just said, "Fuck it. We're not gonna sit here," because it was already like, I don't know, past midnight whenever I started. And if you're watching the clips, holy shit, at this hormonal acne. And I got this one right here that I cannot leave alone. I just know it wants to come out. And I picked at it. And so now it just looks like a huge beast. But sorry that you got to see all that. That's a thing. Um, but yeah, so that's the reason for the outfit change and the fact that I'm no I'm no magician, no witch over here. It went from night to day because of that simple thing. The phone died. And here we are a day or two later finishing the episode. But just in general, because I know people care, people do check in, people do listen to this. And I didn't realize who actually listened to it until I started getting people reaching out saying, "Hey, I had no idea this was going on with you. I listened to your podcast episode. Is there anything I can do? Any way I can help? Are you okay?" And so, yeah, to be honest, I'm fucking great. I know that might sound a little insensitive, but to be honest, I've experienced so much loss in my life at this point that for me to lose something because I'm choosing to walk away, um, I just feel good about that decision. It doesn't mean that I don't care. It doesn't mean that I don't love him. It doesn't mean that I don't love his kids. It doesn't mean that I didn't love our life. It means that I just, for once in my fucking life, am choosing me instead of what everybody tells me I should be doing, which is what I did my whole life. And look where it got me. I mean, I've just suffered with depression and so many mental issues, like just at spiritual warfare with myself, because it's like we're raised to believe to do one thing, and this whole American dream or like purpose in life, a lot of people, and myself included, grow up thinking that the conventional perfect life, the one where you have checked the boxes and you're happy, is the one where, you find someone you love, that like first off, the school thing, right? And then you graduate, and then you go to college, and then you get a good big girl or big boy job, and then you do that forever. And then, along the way, after you've gotten all the college days and all the fun stuff out of your system, you do the normal things. You buy a house, you get married. I don't know which order you're going in, but typically, I guess you get married, you buy a house, and then you start having babies, and then you just spend the rest of your life with this one person raising these babies. Even if the two of you grow in different directions, even if the mental health of everybody is not good, even if the in-laws hate you. And I just like, I've done that too many times already. We talked on the prior episode that this is not my first go round. I've tried to have a family, and I'm starting to think that maybe I'm just spend some time alone and let this be my little family. I've got 2 kids. I've got 2 dogs. One is staying with my ex because he was nice enough to potty train her. That, and I think he just really wanted the company. She's such a sweet puppy, and they love each other so much. But between 2 dogs, well, I'll claim one for now. Between one dog, my 2 kids, and then my mom, she's getting older. She's sick. She gets sick a lot. Her husband has cancer. I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning of this episode, but like there's a lot of shit going on. Like life be lifing for real. And my life is not going to be conventional. As a little girl, I mean, that's what I drew. I would draw brides and grooms. My mom would find papers stacked upon each other of a man and a woman, and it was always a woman in a wedding dress, and he's in whatever I put him in. I guess a tux. I don't know. I don't know if I even knew what that was, but I knew what a fucking wedding dress was, and I knew what a veil was. And they were just standing. I just remember it vividly. They'd stand next to each other, they're holding hands, and they're both dressed up for their wedding day. And I would draw that all the time. Now later it digressed too. I was drawing a lot of penises. Just gonna say what it is. I mean, I guess I figured out that's what you do when you get married. I don't know. she had a whole conversation about that, and I quit doing it. That's one cool thing about my mom is she was always, like, really open whenever it came to talking about sex and stuff, and I think that's probably why I'm starting to be more comfortable with it and just own it because, I mean, it's how we all got here, you know? But I was the person, and I've always been that person, like, just to she said it herself the other day when I was crying my eyes out, I'm like, this is not how it's supposed to be. This is my 3rd, 4th go round at having a fucking family, and it's pretty obvious, like, this is what I've always wanted. I remember drawing these pictures as a little girl. I remember getting so excited when somebody would get engaged. Like, I've always wanted to get married and do all the festivities and just do things in the right order. Have a baby. I expect him to be there. I expect him to be crying his fucking eyes out. And nothing has went according to plan. And marriage isn't it's not been the greatest thing. Like I've got a lot of weird and mixed feelings about it. You know? Do I love him? Absolutely. And falling out of love with him is going to be really hard. We own. I mean, kind of. We created a person together, you know? And so I didn't walk away because I'm not in love with him. For people that are wondering, I walked away because sometimes love is not enough. My mental health was bad. There's a lot of passive aggressiveness. There's a lot of things that trigger me. Like it was taking me back to childhood. And ironically enough, now that I'm back with my mom, I feel more free. But I think it's because she and I are so willing to work on ourselves and be open and talk about things. So ultimately, even though he and I made a good team, I just don't think we're a good match whenever it comes to the way we want to raise our kids, right? So there's that. But I genuinely feel like I'm doing really well. Besides all this hormonal acne, the only thing that really is on my mind and that weighs on me heavily right now is money. And even, I don't know, since yesterday, that is starting to be something I'm not as worried about. Now that I've got the camper, which we slept in it for the first time last night, I cannot tell you the sense of security and stability a 17-foot trailer has given me. My kids sat at the table last night in the camper eating fucking Lunchables, having the best time I've seen them have in a long time. Just knowing that they had their own space, just knowing there's no toes we're going to step on, that nobody's going to get angry if they're too loud. Like, I might fuss a little, but I'm not passive aggressive. I have conversations with them around their behaviors and how it might be inconsiderate and how we need to be aware of our surroundings, stuff like that. But I don't feel like I'm ever just like, shut the fuck up or like making them feel small. I try so hard not to do that. And so being in the small space, they don't feel small. I could see them so expanded. For those who don't know, we have a GoFundMe. Not only is there a GoFundMe, if you don't want to, and I'm not big on handouts, but I'm big on community working together. I can't tell you how many things or how many people I've donated to. I just last week made really good friends with a lady that I saw walking on the side of the road, and I gave her a ride, and I've been giving her rides, and now I'm finding her rides with other people, and I need to put that on my list. Actually, need to start a GoFundMe for her because she's like, if she doesn't get a ride, she has to walk 3 hours there, 3 hours back, plus her shift. And so I think it's wild to live in a world where there's so much money, so many people that can help, and when we need help to not ask for it. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my freaking heart because it started the GoFundMe towards the beginning of December, which is when I left and we moved in with my mom. And so many people came through. I think we wound up with like a little over $1,400. And by doing that, I was able to buy the children food. I've been able to keep up with the expense of gas, of driving 30 miles each way to drop them off at school, to come back, to drop them off school, come back, all that, right? It's adding up. It's adding up to a lot. So that's been where most of the money has been going is gas to get them to and from school because I don't want to pull them out of where they're at right now. I feel like they need some sense of stability. And now that we have the camper going and rolling and not literally rolling, it's quite firmly planted. But now that we have that and they have school. Like, it's been sacrifices. It's been some adjustment. Don't get me wrong. Like, whereas they're used to waking up at 6:30, like they're up. I mean, my daughter's up at 5 or a little bit earlier. And we're on the road by 6:45, 7, really 7, and if we're lucky, because my daughter, I love her, but that child is going to drive me bananas she takes forever. That's all I'm saying. She's on her own time. You know what I'm saying? Currently my favorite. That and protein shakes. Yeah. So V8, you want to sponsor me? Or just send me a lot of free V8 because I'm living off of them. Um, she just takes a long time. So that's been an adjustment, and I feel fulfilled. Like, it's insane the amount of fulfillment I feel right now. Even with, my checking having been like completely in the red. Every time I get money, it's already spent type thing. Um, I I feel fulfilled. The ladies I'm working with, I know I've talked about what I do in the past. It fluctuates. It's been fluid throughout the years, but it's still kind of all the same thing. I'm getting back into coaching, and I don't have any. Well, I have one coaching client now who's about to renew, and we're going to do a partnership coaching arrangement. But outside of that, I quit coaching. I went on hiatus because I needed a break. I had a really bad taste in my mouth from other coaches in the industry that we'll save that for another podcast episode. But I'm getting back into that. So if you wanna talk about evolving, personal evolution, that's my jam. I have a program that is ongoing, meaning you can join at any time, and we start the same day. You literally start the day that you sign up. Um, but it's called 3-Week Evolution, and I can teach you to evolve to what essentially feels like a brand new fucking person in a matter of 3 weeks. Um, but I took a break from coaching, and I really focused on the agency side of what I do, which is content creation, social media management, stuff like that. And one of my best friends, who also has a podcast that you should go listen to, it's called Business Over Cocktails. Sorry, I'm gonna say that again because my mouth wasn't mouthing. Um, her biz. Oh my god, her podcast is called Business Over Cocktails, and it's just real conversations with female entrepreneurs, and really cool backstories and just lessons they've learned, and like just really pulling back the curtain without all the fluff whenever it comes to talking business. And but I help her with her podcast, just a little bit of management, social media management, stuff like that, content creation, and I advise as well. And then I have another client she's actually in the podcast world too, which is so funny because I never would have thought, oh my God, I may get emotional. Shit, fuck, damn it. I never would have thought that my podcast that I started in my bedroom would open me to opportunities to work with such incredible women. I've met some of the coolest women interviewing women like this, but now, and I have full body chills actually. But now I just realized I'm working with 2 podcasting women that if I didn't know anything about podcasting, had I not been at this for a hot minute, why would they trust that I know what I'm talking about, right? So I don't know. I just had a full circle moment. 2 things that I really always wanted to do was to like be a hype woman, like a right-hand woman, and I'm now that. Which is a mixture of online business management, creative strategy, um, really an extension of these women's brands. I get to do the content creation side. I get to add my spunk and my flair. They pay me for my ideas, for my advisory. They love my ideas, and I'm just realizing, oh my God, that I'm doing everything I want to do. I've started playing music again. I've started writing again. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. But yeah, that's what's going on in my life. I'm back to coaching. I'm really excited about that. 3-Week Evolution. Come on board. We start the same day. You will get fantastic results. This is the condensed version of my program that did really well called 3-Month Evolution. We spent 3 months together, but 3 months felt a little too long. we really could have gotten it done in 3 weeks. Um, so 3-week evolution is open for enrollment until further notice, and it is only $222, and there's buy now, pay later options too. So, you wanna divide it up into payments, you can do that. But back into coaching, back into music, back into fucking alignment, man. Like, everything is, I just feel like, working out in our favor. It has been a hard few weeks. I have cried a lot of fucking tears. We have went without a lot. We are continuing to go without a lot. But the amount of love, the amount of laughs that we've had, the amount of lessons that my children have learned in such a small amount of time. They're learning about money. They're learning how to be frugal. They're learning how to be grateful. They're learning how to be resourceful. My son, his chore at 4 years old is to feed the dog. They are learning how to coexist with people that don't match their energy. Like, they're learning discernment. They're learning how to be independent, and how to, I'm holding them really accountable for their actions, for their words, for the way they make each other feel and make me feel right now. Because it's really easy to lash out at the people you love when you're stressed out. Um, and that's something that's a big reason I left. That I got out of the situation is because, it creates an unhealthy environment. It just does. And so I feel like they're learning so much. And in the meantime, they're teaching me so much too. They were reminding me, my daughter, it's sweet. My son is giving me so much more love. It's my sweet mama this, my beautiful mama that. He has went into protector mode. And I remind myself that that's not his burden. He doesn't have to protect me. So I make sure that I don't put pressure on him to be more mature or be the man of the house or something like that. But he stepped up and he wants to love on me. And I think that him going to his dad's allows us to miss each other a whole lot. So when we are together, it's just really sweet, and just that cuddly energy, and just when we're not cuddling, we're goofing off. Uh, and then when we're not doing that, he's probably mad at me for something, but it's just precious. He always comes back and we talk about it. Um and then my daughter, she is starting to see how hard it is to be a mom. She's starting to see how it is very difficult to make a dollar stretch. And she's seeing things that I didn't think she would see or notice, I guess. Like when we're shopping, she looks at price tags. If it's something she wants and she feels like I shouldn't pay for it, she offers her own money. They're doing great. I'm doing great. I'm so happy. And I look like a homeless person 98% of the time, but I'm loving what I'm doing, and I feel in such alignment. This season has shown me who steps up for me and who doesn't. And I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it out loud that I know who's there for me. I know who's there for my kids. And what's ironic is family. It's I haven't heard anything from my daughter's side of the family. Haven't heard anything from my husband's side of the family. How's Philip? How's he doing? Does he need anything? How's Finley? How's she doing? Does she need anything? And I feel like if I send you a GoFundMe asking for help, which is humiliating, by the way, okay? Humiliating. And you can't even share it on your page, but you'll share a fucking recipe. I'm calling you out without calling you out. I know who's there for us, and it's not a whole lot of people. I would count, we'll be honest, my brother, my mother, her husband, the people we live with. I don't live with my brother, but my brother's partner, I would consider her there for us. Um, and then my sisters live far away. There's nothing, and they got their own kids. I don't expect them to be bending over backwards, right? But some of you in my family, and in Finley's family, and in Philip's family, um, I genuinely think you should be ashamed of yourself because, yeah, you've not offered anything. You've barely checked in. On Philip's side, nobody's checked in. Nobody's checked in. And it's humiliating when you ask for help, and then nobody even responds. So just going to put that out there. And I want to give a shout out to my friends who live states away who help. Katie, thank you so much. Emma, thank you so fucking much. I'll leave some people out, I'm sure. I can't remember anybody's names, but just by y'all like sharing the GoFundMe, and people that I don't know have donated, I just can't express how grateful I am for some of you. Lauren, thank you. You've been there for me, and that's been huge, such a huge support system. My client, Kim, thank you so much. All my clients, thank you so fucking much. You have helped me more than, like I said, has. There's select family that's helping, that is showing up in different ways. Doesn't have to be monetarily. But for those of you that I haven't mentioned that we've been talking, I'm sorry, my memory's not the best, but you guys are like so close to my heart, and you've helped in ways that I just can't tell you how much it touches me. Like, I've sat and cried for hours over this shit. So there's our catch up. I know we started with Taco Bell and we ended kind of on a note of like just complete gratitude, but I'm not here asking just for handout. Like, this is helping me create stability for my children, and when I can pay it forward, you better bet your tits I will. Okay? You better bet your tits I will. But if you have any, any need for my services, that would make me even happier to work for it, to gain a client, to do some freelance work. If you need content creation, if you need somebody to edit your podcast, if you want to launch a podcast, if you want somebody to plan and help plan your retreat, if you want to, if you need a social media manager, like, I'm a visionary, I'm a strategist, I'm a coach, I'm a creative. Okay. So if you need me, and you want to hire me, or you know someone who wants to hire me, throw the GoFundMe out the window. Put me to fucking work, because I love to work. I think that's another component of this is I can see that I'm building. I'm building from the ground up, and the whole building is burned down. But I can see I cleared out all the rubbish. What is it called? Rubbish? What the fuck ever. I don't know. But I've made a clear path, right? And I'm on like brick 2 or 3 right now. I don't have a wall set up yet, but I can see it. I can see a strong foundation being built, and that really, 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 really excites me, especially now that I'm doing it on my own. And what I mean on my own is by not being with a partner, by not relying on someone else to make the money, by, all those things. So, anywho, personal evolution is deep. It is raw. It is real. It doesn't mean becoming the best version of yourself. It means facing every version of yourself, accepting it, and if you need to correct something along the way, which I don't like the word correct, but some of the shit we do needs to be corrected. Working on that shit along the way, doing the shadow work, doing, the rage work, just being completely honest with yourself and really facing yourself so that you can know exactly who you are, to where nothing outside will affect you. What I mean by that is, like, we go through life trying to appease so many people, and we wear all these masks, but deep down we're like hiding who we really are. The weirdness, the kinks, the oddities, the uniqueness, because, as part of a tribe, which everybody wants to find their tribe, right? You have to in a way conform. Personal evolution is the opposite of that. It's such cool work. I love it. It's energetics, it's identity work, it's neuroscience, it's neuroplasticity, it's reprogramming. Oh my God, so much fun. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited that I'm already doing it. I'm living proof that you can go from A to B real fast. I feel like I'm about to go from A to Z. I've got a lot of good plans. I've got amazing clients. Um, I'm back into coaching, like all and I think that the quantum leap and the transformation, or the glow up, as my daughter calls it, is going to be, y'all are just going to be like, we knew she had it in her, but because there's so many things happening in the background you don't even know about. Like, I'm writing a book. I've got so much stuff going on. I'm just going to shut up. I love you. Have a great fucking day or night or whatever, month, week, 3 minutes, on purpose. Be intentional today. Intention changes everything. Please don't go through life on autopilot. Tell the person next to you that you love them, or say something nice to them, or put the fucking phone down and be present. Go work out, start the first step of the thing. Like, be fucking intentional. 7 years has gone by so fast. This is the longest I was ever with anybody, and it went by so fast. I'm like, what the fuck? I want to accomplish a lot more in the next 7 years. So it's time to work. It's time to work. Those are all my updates. I love you so much. If you're not following me, come follow me on Instagram. I changed my name. It is now Evolve with Jacqueline. I'll put it in the show notes. I'll change everything up. I think that I got to change all that. And well, of course, on Instagram too, at Just Women Talking Shit, but TikTok as well. We're trying to get that built up. You can listen to this pretty much wherever you get your podcasts too. So, and send it to a friend. Maybe not this episode, but like scroll through and find a topic that you feel resonates with you or somebody you care about. Maybe listen to the first few minutes, and if you vibe with it, send that motherfucker to a friend, okay? Because I can't do this without people sharing the information and building the hype and really just getting my face or my voice in front of other people. Maybe not my face, because again, this hormonal acne is out of this fucking world right now. But I need your help. Like, things don't just happen for no reason. Something like this does well when people pass it along, and it's the ripple effect, right? And so again, it's just little on me. I don't have sponsors. I don't have a team. I do it all, which is why it's hard to stay consistent, because I'm helping other people with their podcasts and their things, making them consistent, which means that my shit goes in the back burner and I'm more inconsistent. But with your help, with your reviews, with your ratings, with your shares, with your taking screenshots and tagging me in your stories, all that's all a girl needs, okay? So let's go have a good day. I love you. Bye.